So I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. That's currently where I am now. I relocated once the pandemic started back here with some family. Yeah, so I was born and raised here, so I've been here most of my life. I moved to LA for college, had to come back. And yeah, I'm studying interactive media and game design specifically at the School of Cinematic Arts at USC, and I also have a minor in video game programming. I wouldn't call myself the greatest programmer out there, but I know enough to get the job done. Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Atsana. I also go by Atsy. I am a current senior at USC. I'm studying interactive media and game design. So I'm a game designer and developer. So I play games at night and make games during the day. It's a great life. I actually have always wanted to be a game designer ever since I realized that that was a job. I think I decided on this when I was 10 years old. The first game I had really played that influenced me was Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. I got it for Christmas, and before that, video games to me just seemed like things to pass the time, and I didn't know that they could have stories and characters that you could really fall in love with and really get attached to. So Zelda kind of like opened my world, and since then I've just really wanted to create experiences that influence.
You have different exposure with different game engines, right? Which one you enjoy the most?
So I had started with Unreal Engine, like I said, but USC Games teaches primarily in Unity. So I had to learn that engine when I got here. I've dabbled in Game Maker. I used it a little bit in high school. I wouldn't go back to it because it's just so simple. Today I am most comfortable in Unity because Beasts of Marvia Island is made in Unity, and I've just had to do so much in it. I've taken a couple classes in Unreal since I learned with it in high school, and I think I'm pretty good at it. I think I'm more comfortable with Unity at the moment since I use it every day. And having the ability to actually script things from scratch, like write actual code, is a little easier for me sometimes. Unreal uses the blueprinting system, which is like dragging in functions as boxes and hooking them up manually as kind of like visual scripting, which can get really messy really quickly if you don't know what you're doing.
I see.
Yeah.
Unreal is kind of tough. I use Unreal.
It's hard to get into it, yeah.
Unity, I can very quick to spin up something, and then also have a lot of good tutorial, and then you can learn Unity very well, very easily. But also the Unreal interface very complicated too.
Yeah, I know it's always hard to get into these things, but Unreal is definitely more of the scary looking one. It's hard to learn.
But both Unreal and Unity, they're good engines, right? So you also can use Unity to do a lot of amazing projects too. Yeah.
I think I will start off by showing our trailer. So the project that I have been working on for the past 2 years, it's called Beasts of Marvia Island. Just some quick information about it. It started as a advanced games project under USC Games, which is sort of like a capstone class where you work on a game for a whole year with a team of about 15 to 20 people. After that class ended in 2020, we decided to take the project further, and we took it to Kickstarter, and that got us a publishing deal. And then our publisher got us a feature with Nintendo and Indie World a couple weeks ago, which was really cool. And Nintendo obviously has always been a really big influencer for me, so it's been like a dream come true the past year being able to work on this. Let me try to share my screen real quick.
Sure.
There is magic all around us. We just have to look for it. My dearest Marina, we cannot save what we do not know. So it is our duty to share the magic of this island with the world. The magic wanes, yet nobody can act. So I leave you my camera and my journal. Photograph Maravilla's majesty and bring back something beautiful to share with the world.
So yeah, that's Beasts. Right off the bat, obviously, it's probably reminding you of Pokemon Snap, which is the unfortunate reality. Because I mean, we came up with this idea before we even knew they were remaking the Pokemon Snap that just came out 3 days ago. But that's just game development.
But I can be your witness. I know that you developed the game for a while, so
Yeah.
I believe that 2 years ago. So
Yeah,
I
we
had a chance
started.
you invited me to your tester to give you feedback, and then I have a chance to see the earlier phase of your development. So when I see the video, probably a few weeks ago, because I tried to reach out to you to have an interview. Hold on a second. So, okay, sorry. Yeah, I just checked the mic is working. So, and then when I see the video on your on YouTube, and then this is very stunning. So, graphic is good. I like the lighting effect. Everything is perfect. I think this is a really great game. So also, I keep asking you when I can get a release, and then.
Yeah.
I wish I can get a physical copy too, but you told me that this may be too much for your team right now.
Yeah, because that would take budgeting and money that we might not have. But we would love to do physical if possible.
So just wonder how much to make a physical copy with you.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think the main problem is just finding a manufacturer that would do it for us, because I mean, I'm not sure how any of that works. I'm just a designer, but the marketing person that's on the team could probably talk about it more. But I'm assuming that Nintendo just doesn't have the ability to make the cartridges. I think you have to get in touch with your publisher and then other people, and then of course Nintendo and other factors have to make sure that they think your game is actually going to sell well if it's a physical copy and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of factors involved. Thank you.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to think about how you play tested it a long time ago, because I think you play tested it when it was probably in gray box mode. It didn't have any of the pretty graphics. It was probably really buggy, not fun at all, because we were still trying to hammer out a lot of the designs.
How many people in your team?
It's fluctuated a lot. I think right now I would say we have at least 15 active members
15.
that participate weekly to get the game done, and then probably overall 25 people, so an additional 10 people to the 15 that come and go when we need some art stuff tweaked or audio tweaked. It's been a really big project with a lot of people that have worked on it.
So can you share with us how from the very beginning, and what is the development process look like?
Yeah, it's it's really hard. You think making a game from scratch from this idea that you have is going to be so fun, but it's really hard and really difficult. In the beginning stages, at least for me, are always the hardest, because all you have is an idea, and you have to somehow communicate those ideas to your peers and get them on paper so that engineers can come in and program what you need, and that artists can come in and make the graphics that you have in your head. And from a design standpoint, it's hard to think about what should be in your game. It sounds like it'll be easy, but especially when you're working with other people, ideas get thrown out, and the ideas aren't always so good. And you might act really fast on an idea that you have, and then test it and realize that it's not good and have to get rid of it. During the beginning of our development process, because we were all students taking this for a class, and AGP has really tight deadlines. We have to meet alpha, beta, and gold master deadlines all within a year, which is kind of unheard of in the real game space. Maybe 2 years at the least is how long. I think Death Stranding took 2 years to make, which is crazy. Usually games take 3 or 4 years to develop. But so yeah, we had really tight deadlines. So we just had to work around those and make sure that the designs that we were coming up with, we were confident in, because it had to go into the game immediately. And so I think the most stressful time that I experienced on this project was when we were students, just because we had those deadlines, and it was for a grade, and we were constantly getting feedback from 8 faculty advisors at USC Games. And we had to make sure that we were acting on their feedback to get good grades. But once this project left school, we were kind of like, okay, we can do whatever we want and not have to worry about getting that A. And I think that opened the doors a bit for us, because we were able to do what we want. And of course, the game has been through a lot since then. When the project ended at 2020 in May, when school ended, we only had the first zone done, I think. And we didn't have the river or the plateau zone, which you can see in the trailer. They're now fully fleshed out with graphics and they're completed. And by then, when we got to those zones to complete when we were out of school, it was actually pretty easy because we had all of our pipelines worked out, like how designers should go in and place a plant, how engineers should go in and implement something, or how an artist should make said plant was all figured out. So it was just coming up with ideas and then putting it in the project. And my work recently has just included polishing up the project, which has been easy. It's just like, oh, I want this thing to be in the game, like this sparkle effect, I'm gonna put it in, and that's it. So it's been easy recently.
What is your favorite college tradition?
My favorite college tradition, when I was actually on campus pre-pandemic, I was a hermit, to be honest. The only thing that I left my house for was the student job that I worked with Chi. I was working at ITS as a student technical manager, I think was the term, and I put in a lot of time into that. But so I didn't party on the row or anything. The tradition that I can think of that I missed the most, at the Cinematic School of Arts, in one of the buildings on the second floor, there was this space where all the games kids hung out. It was called the Fish Bowl, and it was like this round circular room that had couches, and it had like a PS4 set up and consoles and like tabletop games, and so kids would just go out and hang out there, talk to each other and play games. It was like super nerdy atmosphere, but I just miss going in there and like saying hi to friends. Yeah, my first answer is going to be really cheesy. Her name is Michelle Olsen, and she's the creative director on Bisa Marvia Island. It's actually kind of a blessing that she came into my life, because she's just been an absolute great role model for like who I want to be as a designer. She's super nice and articulate, and she always takes feedback really well, which was something that I had to work on when I joined the team, was learning how to give feedback and accept feedback really well, which is a skill some people need to work on. It's kind of hard because a lot of people will see their projects as like themselves. Trying to detach those two apart can be hard. So I look up to her a lot. Second person is someone I've always looked up to when I was a kid, Shigeru Miyamoto, because he designed the first Zelda and Mario and stuff, and he just has really interesting design philosophies. He has always said that the mechanic needs to be fun before you add in all the art. So when he made Mario, he made sure that jumping with Mario was fun before he like even had the sprite done. So I always keep that in mind. Third person, I don't know, it's hard for me to say. I'm actually, I don't remember names as well as I should for people in the dev space. It's probably something I should work on. The creative director that worked on God of War, Corey, I looked up to him for a while because I really, really enjoyed the remake of God of War that was on PS4, because it had absolute amazing like level design and everything else. And as a creative director, he, from the outside looking in, from what I can see, he was really good at touching base with all the teams and making sure that the vision he had in his head was executed to the point that he...
Share your advice to us?
Yes. If you want to get started, it's actually easier than you think, because there are so many tutorials on YouTube of like how to make a character jump in Unity. Just super simple Google searches will get you started. Even if you are intimidated by programming, much as I am, there's still so many other things that you can look into and see if you like. Maya is free for students if you want to get into 3D modeling. There's also Blender that's free no matter who you are. Audio is always an option if you like music. Just start throwing things together, see if you like it. And then if you do like programming, it's super easy to build up a programming portfolio. Just like if you have a gaming idea, just go program it and slap it on your website, and you can show it to recruiters. Or if you're trying to get into USC games, having stuff like that is really valuable to show to the admission people.
I think one more thing here. So beside USC, I know that USC is one of the best schools in the world to learn gaming design, but also is there any other options in the United States that will be also teaching gaming design?
Yeah, I think NYU has a really good program. They always, I think they're always close to second to us. If you're going for masters, I know NYU has a better master's program than USC Games Masters program. I don't know why our master's program isn't also #1 as our undergrad. I don't know how that works. But yeah, NYU, I know people there that really enjoy it. Besides that, I think there's a lot of colleges that will advertise themselves to you as like, yeah, we teach nothing but like video games, like DigiPen and stuff. And I think those schools aren't going to be as good as they say, because you're not going to get any other knowledge besides video games. And I think getting knowledge in other aspects, like getting knowledge from general education classes and meeting all different types of people, actually will influence who you are and help you be a better designer and give you more experience, I think. So I believe on Twitter we are, you can find us at Maravilla Beasts, and then Instagram would be Beasts of Maravilla Island, but our Twitter is the more polished one. If you want to follow us there, we keep it updated. My personal social, you can find me on anything at Zelda, Zelda, but then TSI at the end. Zelda with my nickname. And then on LinkedIn, if you search up my full name at Senna Corrington, I should show up.
And then I also want to ask for help from everyone. So if you want to listen more talented students to share their stories, please like and subscribe my channel and share to your friends. So your support will be very helpful to support my channel in the future. So